Joel, man. I'll meet you down in the beach in about 25. Had a bit of a late night last night, played some pool, couple of beers, but got a little bit out of hand. I'll see you down there.
So blessed to grow up 300 metres from the sea. I just get this insane gratification and comfort from seeing the sea, hearing the ocean and surfing. For me, there's nothing better. I've definitely thought about other career paths. I've been through times in my life where it's been pretty dire. Yeah, it's almost been the end. There's been times where it's really, really helped me just to take a leap. Growing up, I used to cook a lot with my mum. I'd spend 1 or 2 hours pretty much every single night. Rarely ever did my homework. And at the age of 15, I was just thinking to myself, I don't really want to be here studying. Cooking really resonated with me. I just thought it was a brilliant way to pass time and be creative. The hard thing being, I had no experience. And yeah, then it kind of turned into a bit of a roulette of, you know, what kitchen was going to hire a 15-year-old without any experience in a professional kitchen.
There's no fucking drain in here, is there?
My first head chef, he gave me about a 40-hour week.
What the fuck am I meant to do?
Which, I mean, is pretty hectic for a 15-year-old, but 40 hours turned into 60, 60 hours turned into 80. I've done over 100-hour weeks before. It's taxing on the body, taxing on the mind. It's just such a high-stress environment.
If I go out tonight and sleep at like 3, I should be fine for 6, right?
This was going to be, you know, a really big venture, and I was going to have to say goodbye to things like social activities on a weekend, club sports and stuff like that. It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? I look back on it and I'm like, wow, I easily could have just, you know, called my parents and be like, I want you to pick me up, I want to quit this job. But I would see all those people in the kitchen, you know, almost double the amount that I would my immediate family.
We're fucking burning them up!
Which was good and bad, I guess.
I got Monday, Tuesday off, but you know me, I'm pretty flaky these days. Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, look at me, I'm a movie. Blah, 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 rub it in, mate.
Fucking bring them in, mate. Well, fuck. What the fuck is that? All these fucking tables.
But yeah, I think definitely in the kitchen there's some big moments.
That's truffle on both, going to keep going.
24, please.
Okay, that's truffle on both.
You put that in there. Did you put this?
You know, verbal abuse, physical abuse.
I don't even really talk to you. You know, if you understand exactly what you have to do, talking, you don't need it. Fuck me. It's fucking disgusting. I don't think it should be.
Seeing that from the age of 15 was really intense. It's very real.
Oh, I can't really talk right now.
So I was caught lying about some of my prep that I hadn't done. One of my sous chefs, he found out I'd put all the trim of this lettuce in the bin, and I kind of put my head down like a little puppy, and he said, mate, this is your prep, like you've thrown it in the bin, this is wasted money. End of the day, he made me eat about 1.5 kilos of lettuce leaves. You know, every other person that you talk to that isn't in hospitality, it just blows their mind. And so it should, because no matter what position you are in the kitchen, you can't get away with stuff like that.
Ready?
When you're out, you need to have a coping mechanism, because I think for a lot of people, speaking from experience, drugs and alcohol is that out. that coping mechanism. You've been in the kitchen since 8 a.m. and all you want to do is somewhat lose your mind. You know, and that's where drugs and alcohol can come in, and it can be very detrimental to someone. A very close chef to my heart committed suicide a few years ago. He was my second mentor chef. To be close to that and for that to happen, it's a massive eye-opener. It's not only the big hours, it's not only, you know, maybe the hierarchy of a kitchen work. It comes down to communication. There's so much emphasis on being in the kitchen and being present at work and performing these emotional conversations. It doesn't really feel like it's the right time or place. It's the hardest thing to shut your mind off for 30 seconds. And I think a lot of people definitely push that stuff aside. Some might think that if they open themselves up emotionally, it might be a sign of weakness. When my mum passed away, it was a big hit. I was working at a restaurant in the city and I was doing 85 plus hours a week, and Mum had a pretty long battle with cancer, and that came to an end, and I think I took maybe 2 weeks and 2 days off after Mum's death. But in the back of my mind, all I could think about was work. All I could think about was, these guys are doing my prep. Like, these guys are probably having a hard time or working, you know, 95 hours. That right there says a whole lot about the industry, and how I guess enveloping it can be. You know, the fact that I just lost a parent, but all I can think about is work and being in that kitchen. But yeah, obviously from losing a mum, a person's gonna, you know, have a whole bunch of issues, and I found myself standing on a cliff at one of the beaches around here and not knowing what to do. It was one of the most challenging times of my life. So bringing that pain back into the kitchen was really hard. I didn't cry for 8 months after Mum's death. But coming through that and seeing the rainbow, like, I can see that in other people, because there's more out there for everyone. I think a vast minority of people would understand exactly how a kitchen works, how it happens. I think a lot of people out there would definitely take it for granted. If I was to, you know, come out here and make a spiel about what's actually happened in my career, it would be shocking to a lot. Yeah, I'll always have that love for the industry. There's definitely not enough talk about how a restaurant actually runs. But in saying that, maybe people don't want to know.